for Ohio State. Howard in trouble. Incomplete. Ohio State turns it over on downs.
Now I know what you're thinking. Losing to an unranked Michigan team means little at home when you're going to the Big Ten Championship in the playoffs. Well, I got some great news for you. Penn State just took your spot. Yep, clown of the week. In fact, you might be the fucking circus of the century. Ohio State waited till the benches cleared to show any sort of fight against Michigan. So much so that the police came and pepper sprayed the players. Like Khalil Mullings himself said, you gotta learn how to lose.
You know, like I'd like to know where Lou Holtz is right now.
Are we paying attention? Over the top. Or are we
something? Ohio State sucks. And let me tell you something. Ohio State doesn't just suck, they fucking suck. You suck in an inconceivable amount of ways that I can't have ever enough time to describe. And this week has really shown me just the absolute superiority complex these Ohio State fans really have. One thing you got to give credit for to these fans, though, above anything else, they're at least consistent with their brand. Just like their coach, they were also born on third base. Most of these people running around on Twitter bragging about how great Ohio State is and their program is so much greater than Tennessee's and we're the cream of the crop in our conference and all that. You know, Ohio State is so reliant on conference pride, and when you see how they've done in recent history, you'll see exactly why that is. They aren't the cream of the crop in their own conference. But a lot of these fans, or at least a whopping majority of these people running around the internet with wireless keyboards, throwing them at walls and crap, typing on Twitter, letting everybody know how they're the gods of college football. What god in college football won their last national title 10 years ago? But these fans were born at a time where Ohio State was so dominant, beat up on everybody. They could win everything. They'd win 13 games a year. They could beat Michigan. What a time that was, huh? Back in the days of Urban Meyer, where they would walk into the playoffs. Remember that one time in 2014 when they won a national championship? Woo! Woo! Look, I've explained this lesson to a lot of people on here, and you're no different, so I'll explain it to you the best way that I can. Your national title last decade is as important today as Tennessee's national championship in 1998. The only difference is years. That's it. That's literally the only difference. If that national title from 10 years ago matters as much as you say it does, then explain to me why it's been 4 years since you won your conference. If the past matters so much as you say it does, then why the hell can't you beat Michigan? Is that the blue blood that I'm supposed to be scared of? Is that what's supposed to make me afraid? Is that Michigan? A 7-5 Michigan team. Not the Michigan team that got caught cheating. Not the one with an elite offense. Not the one with J.J. McCarthy. Not the one with any of those things. They had Sharon Moore and a bunch of quarterbacks who belong on a high school depth chart. And they rolled straight into Columbus, Ohio, and beat you sorry. And that's what I'm supposed to be afraid of? That's what's supposed to scare me? I'll give you credit for this, though. You're 100%. 100% the absolute greatest scam artist in the history of the universe. You know how I think that? You spent $20 million. $20 million on a roster that still can't win the Big Ten. You spent $20 million. Let me put this into thought for you. 20,000,000. That's how much money you spent for your arch rival, who I remind you finds it the most difficult thing on planet Earth to even throw a complete pass, rolled into Columbus, Ohio, and beat the ever-living hell out of you. For the 4th time in a row. And they're 7-5. Oh yeah, Squidtard? Well, didn't you go and lose to Arkansas on the road, Squidtard? We sure did. But firstly, like I just said, on the road. And then secondly, that was all the way back in week 6. That's prehistoric times compared to now. When y'all lost to Michigan. That's the last thing you know. Is losing to Michigan. That's how you ended the season. You couldn't even qualify for your own conference championship. You can say what you want to about the Tennessee fan base, but one thing we don't do as compared to you absolute smooth brains is all run around claiming we own the conference. How the hell do you own the conference? You can't even qualify for the conference title. It's been half a decade since you've even been there. And this is absolutely one of the most smooth-brained things I've seen in my life. But for whatever reason, Ohio State fans, above any other individual fan base, they nut ride their conference harder than anybody I've ever seen. Anytime the SEC is mentioned in any conversation, which I remind you is the best conference, you can cry about it all you want. You can continue to cry and wail about, what the Big Ten? What about the Big Ten, Squidtard? No. The SEC is the best conference. Every single time the SEC is mentioned, here come the Ohio State fans. Oh, no, the Big Ten owns all the college football. Ohio State is better than anybody in the SEC. Well, if that's true, explain to me why every time the SEC matches up against you, you get your behinds spanked scarlet. Listen here, this might be more embarrassing than Ryan Day's record against Michigan. I want to remind you for a second. I got to get a real up close and personal to the microphone on this one. Ryan Day is winless, 0-1 all time versus Eli Drinkwitz. You mean to tell me that Ryan Day, Ohio State, is that badly dominated by Eli Drinkwitz? Man, y'all suck. There's not one thing about you bums that I'm afraid of. I'll tell you that much. Your offense certainly doesn't scare me. I'll tell you that much. Will Howard can't even throw a complete pass against any competent defense in the country. Y'all can't run the ball because you get pushed around every time you match up against a competent defense. You're too soft to run the ball on anybody. And above all else, your team fights better after the game when it's time to throw hands than you do when it's actually time to play football. But one thing you sure do know how to do is cry and complain and moan and do everything else except for play good football. Ryan Day is the biggest crybaby in that conference. He cried about, we got to move the Michigan game to way earlier in the season. I wonder where Lou Holtz is right now. He's saying we're soft. And then you are. You prove yourself soft. And it's not just Ryan Day. It's not just him. Your own lawmakers in your own state are trying to banish the ability for people to plant flags on your own stadium. You're that salty? You're that salty that you can't beat anybody of worth? That you have to try and make it illegal for them to talk shit. What y'all gonna do next? Make losing illegal? Ohio State can't lose in Columbus? So says the great law of Ohio? How about this? The great law of Tardaria says you suck donkey doo-doo ass! Ohio State fans, through all of the talk that they've talked this past week, have proven to me that they don't actually believe that they're going to win this game. Because every reason that they're going to win is nothing related to the game itself. Nothing related to the matches. Nothing about the quarterbacks, the receivers, the defensive backs, the defensive line, the line of scrimmage, the offensive line, the quarterback situation, the coaching, the referee. None of that's related. Not even the referees. They don't even talk about that. You know what they talk about? Oh yeah? Well, Tennessee, they are ready for the Ohio weather. They're not ready for the snow. They are ready for the super cold weather. Y'all act like we're playing in the middle of Antarctica! It's gonna be at most 5 degrees colder up there than it's gonna be down here in Knoxville on the same day. Y'all think everybody down here in the South lives on the damn equator, where everything's 70 degrees and on fire! Oh yeah? Well, Tennessee, they don't play good on the road. Did you remember that one time they lost to Arkansas, Squidtard? Remember that? Remember that when they lost to Arkansas and then they lost to Georgia too? They can't beat anybody on the road. I wonder what competent teams Ryan Day has played on the road this year. Something like, I don't know, the Oregon Ducks. What happened there? Tell me. You can slide into the comment section and let me know about that one. And here's the worst part for you. You're hosting a home college football playoff game, and your home field advantage is going to be suboptimal at best. Because the Tennessee fans have taken over a third of your entire stadium! How's it feel that big old washed up pile of doo-doo is going to be a third orange And then whatever the rest of it's scarlet. It's scarlet the shoe. We got to scarlet the shoe. Yeah, how about you scarlet my balls? How about you do that? Tennessee has taken over your town. And I do mean that in the past tense. They've taken over your town, and they'll continue to take it over up until we win that game. And you bet we're going to plant that flag in the middle of your stadium. We're going to take that big old Tennessee flag, and we're going to plant it right in the middle of that big, stupid block O. You know what's sad for the Buckeye man? You know what's really sad for the Nut man? You don't win in this situation. No matter what happens on the field, or after the game, or anywhere in between, you don't win. You just refrain from losing. Because one of two things is happening. One, you lose, which is probably happening. Or two, you keep Ryan Day. Oh, that's going to be a sad day for you. A sad day for you either way, because you somehow miraculously win this game. All you're going to do is it's going to make you keep Ryan Day for a whole nother year so you can repeat this same cycle, because we all know you aren't winning a national championship this year. By some unforeseen miracle, if you find a way to win this game, it's not gonna matter, because you're gonna roll into the next game and you're gonna lose. But you're not gonna make it there anyway. You're not gonna make it to the Rose Bowl so that you can embarrass yourself. That's not happening, because you're gonna get your pants pulled down and spank scarlet when the Tennessee Vols roll up there and put a whooping of an absolute lifetime on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now say it with me, everyone, because I already know a lot of you are with us tonight. Go Vols and go Big Orange and Ohio State. We'll see you on Saturday in Columbus. Get ready, because Ryan Day won't be there for much longer. I can guarantee you that!